You know what I'm happy about? I'm happy about the fact that for anyone and everyone, there is actually an option. If you don't want to wait a single day, you buy something ready. If you're okay with waiting 3 4 months to get something for your own taste, you can go for shell and core. If you got a year and you don't mind, you want to build your dream house, and that would take a
Well,
year.
shell and core is more towards you know, to the clientele or to the buyers who's actually looking for ready options. So, if they're not happy with the existing stock or the existing houses on the market, they can ideally customize their interiors with these shell and cores.
A warm welcome to all of you from our office on a beautiful Sunday here in Istanbul. That's the reason why we don't have as many people working at the office today. So it's a rather good occasion for us to film a straight talk, which we hadn't done for a while, and we hadn't done an episode with Kajin. Bulut, who is the head of our premium department and also the head of operations at Design Turkey, our design and build company. And today we'll be talking about something very interesting, Kajin. You ready?
Yes, go ahead.
I mean, now recently we have been seeing a certain inclination towards shell and core type of homes, aka incomplete. People are buying these types of homes and designing and building, you know, based on their tastes. And for our audience, some of you guys are already familiar with what shell and core is, what an incomplete building is. But for those of you who are not familiar with the concept, it's basically a building that you only have the shell of it, the exterior structure,
Yeah.
and maybe, I don't know, roof and a bit more facilities like a pool or its place, but nothing else really. No rooms, no doors, no painting, and nothing. And that is what an incomplete property is in Istanbul. Now here comes the question, Kajin. Why some of our clients are preferring these incomplete homes, these shell and core homes, instead of ready ones?
Well, generally because it's more personalized. So rather than having a ready house, you can customize your own taste, your own design, and you can, have the enough space for your own taste. You can increase the size of the bedroom, lower the size of the living room. It all depends on your taste.
Yes. But what are some of the, I mean, with everything, there are advantages and, disadvantages or some limiting factors. When you compare it with building a home from scratch, from ground zero, and an incomplete home where you have the shell only, what are some of the advantages of the shell and core, and what are some of the limitations, so to speak?
Pros and cons are like this. Advantage point is that you have a singular taste of exterior within compounds, and with that compound, you're actually having similar types of exterior design. And the pros is it takes less time than
Yeah.
from the scratch
Yeah.
built, because ideally you can finish if there is no extra work going on. You can ideally complete the shell and core structure within 3 4 months.
Yes.
Comparing to from the scratch construction, that's going to take you overall a year to complete. So
Yes.
that would be the biggest obvious,
Reason. Yeah.
reason.
But don't you think, I mean, just because you have something, I mean, somebody has decided for the design of your house pre-hand. I think that's the biggest limitation. You cannot change the columns or the footprint of the house. You cannot implement your own design in terms of, what kind of structure you want. I think that's one of the
Of course, I
limitations,
mean,
isn't it?
there's it's an obvious two really different things. One of them is shell and core incomplete houses. The other is designing home.
Yeah.
So design and build is completely something different than what is shell and core. Shell and core just helps you to actually have your house in a shorter time, and depends on, certain compounds and villas.
Mhm.
Sizes are subject to whatever the compound is, but the idea is totally different.
Yeah.
The similarity is only within the interior.
Yeah.
know.
The
If you-
similarity
The
is
similarity
that,
is
yeah,
only the interior
yeah,
design-wise, size of the rooms.
materials and
Yeah,
so.
for instance, you can have, for a shell and core basis of a house, an incomplete house, you can say you would like to have, let's say, from the ground floor a living space, and then toward up to the stories, toward up to the floors, you would like to have the privacy more and more, because those floors would be ideally your bedrooms and so on. So these kind of things, these kind of changes you can easily make on shell and core, and it gives you an advantage
Of course.
of that.
Yeah.
But custom design, we're talking about a complete custom, tailor-made. So we can say
Yeah.
a tailor-made design. This
Well-
can be anything, exterior-wise, interior-wise. This can be anything.
Well, you know what I'm happy about? I'm happy about the fact that for anyone and everyone, there is actually an option. If you don't want to wait a single day, you buy something ready. If you're okay with waiting 3-4 months to get something for your own taste, you can go for shell and core. If you got a year and you don't mind, you want to build your dream house, and that would take a
Well,
year.
shell and core is more towards the, to the clientele or to the buyers who's actually looking for ready options. So if they're not happy with the existing stock or the existing houses on the market, they can ideally customize their interiors with these shell and cores.
Now, cool. I mean, I understand. And let me ask you this question. Where people can find these types of incomplete homes? I mean, this is a rare instance, isn't it?
It is. Throughout the city you can, but ideally majority of the stock is in Büyükçekmece for shell and core basis.
And within Büyükçekmece, I'm
There are
pretty much
3-4
sure, yeah.
compounds, and in Büyükçekmece the houses are not standalone. They're within complexes. Those shell and core houses
Yes.
are within the complexes.
Yes. It's actually, I mean, it doesn't make sense, to be honest, to be able to find a single standalone home that is incomplete there. If that's incomplete, that means the builder is probably bankrupt. Yeah. And that could be, that could be a purchase, but I don't think that has a market, on its own. But I understand. And the question now comes to, how do we help our clients? Say I purchased a shell and core building now. What are some of the steps that I need to take, and how it all come together?
Well, as you know, we've got Designer Turkey in place. Designer Turkey contains its team with architects and engineers. So first, initially, client meets with the architecture side, the architect side, and the design gets in place. First, we try to listen the client. We try to understand the taste. We share ideas. We share pictures. Try to get the taste of furniture's taste of colors more in place, because our architects needs to actually dream that, also to actually live that through their brain, to implement it, to design it. That takes a quite a while of a time. The only design and stage of a shell and core can go up to 1 to 2 months. Once that is in place, when we have the 3D modeling of the required or desired design, we then start the implementation stage, and we get the necessary permits. We work in line with the dedicated engineers, and we also work in line with the compound owners, with the developers, so that we know what we can do and what we cannot on the premises. For example, you cannot touch the exterior walls, you cannot change, you have to comply with the rules of color scheme within the compound. So we follow those structures. But interior-wise, it is absolutely personalized. So then we start the implementation stage. We select the materials with our clients. We've got an architect or team of 4 people now. And so part of them They literally go around the city with the client if the client wants to. They select the materials. We compare the materials. We compare the price lists. And once all is done, implementation stage begins. And then we try to understand when ideally a client wants to have the house delivered. Based on that structure, we comply and we make sure we deliver on the date. As I said, it's if there is a lot of work to be done based on clients' requests, it's going to take more time. If it's not, you can shorten this within 3 months and you can deliver it a top-notch turnkey house.
I understand. Thank you very much. You explained it very well. The entire process. And yeah, to summarize, I would say that shell and core is somewhere in the middle between designing and building a house from scratch or buying a ready one. It's actually more towards ready units that would give clients a bit more freedom to express their own lifestyle. And yeah.
Also, one more thing, it also depends if the client wants to be within gated community or not.
Mm-hmm.
You see, mostly 99% of the time, design and build houses are standalone, in an independent land. But when it comes to shell and cores, you're in the compounds and you're in a gated community where you have your own social facilities, clubs,
Mm-hmm.
etc. So it all depends client's taste on.
Okay, I understand. All right, thank you very much for this information. Yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching the show. Also, don't forget to send us a message through this WhatsApp number. If you like the video, please don't forget to give it a like. And if you have been following our show, please subscribe it so you would, see more and more episodes. Again, thanks a lot, and see you in the next one.
See ya.